Guys, all right, chapter 16. Are all donkeys sad? Louis did not like to leave Winslow when school returned after the winter break. He fed Winslow before he left the first day and tucked two stuffed animals in the pen with him, along with one of his own shirts that had the smell of him on it. His father and mother would take turns coming home from work for the noon feeding, and then Louis would be home after school for the next ones. All day long, Louis thought about the donkey. Was he okay? Was he warm enough? Was he lonely? Louis could hardly concentrate on anything else. He doodled donkeys in the margins of his papers. In the school library, he searched for books about donkeys, but found none. There were books about dogs and horses and sheep and cows, but no donkeys. The librarian handed him Winnie the Pooh, opening it to a drawing of a donkey. There you go, she said brightly. Eeyore, a very famous donkey. I don't think that's the kind of donkey he was looking for, do you? Louis was embarrassed. He was way too old for this book, he thought, and he already knew about Eeyore, the sad friend of Winnie the Pooh. Are all donkeys sad? Louis wondered. Louis was relieved after that first day back to school when he returned home and found Winslow standing in his pen, nose pressed against the wire, wagging his fluffy tail like a dog. Winslow, you're happy to see me, aren't you? Winslow wiggled and waggled and nudged Louis's face and neck. You're not sad, are you? Winslow burst out of the pen and flopped into Louis's lap, his legs collapsing in a tangled heap, his big sticking up ears tickling Louis's face. Chapter 17. You don't have to do that. Louis rarely saw Nora at school, but when he did, she was often alone, either trailing down the hallway after her classmates or seated by herself at lunch. He hadn't recognized her at first without her big coat and hat and boots. One day at lunch, he sat down across from her with his tray. You don't have to do that, she said, studying her sandwich. Do what? Sit there? I know that. I know I don't have to, but maybe I want to. Yeah, right. They ate in silence until Nora asked, How's that thing, that sickly creature? Did it die yet? It's a donkey, and his name is Winslow. He did not die. She looked up from her sandwich and said, Yet. He's really doing good, Louis said. You should come by and see him again sometime. I'll think about it. The following Saturday was sunny and warmer than it had been in weeks. Most of the snow had melted, and Winslow was following Louis as he circled the yard. Maybe you should get a leash for it, someone said. Louis turned to see Nora on the sidewalk. If you get a collar and a leash, she said, you could walk it like a dog. Not a bad idea, thought Louis. I've got a collar and a leash at home. You do? You have a dog? Had a dog. I'm sorry, Louis said. That stinks. What stinks? You know that you had a dog, but now you don't, so it must have. I guess it died, right? Well, it could have run away, Nora said. Oh, it ran away? No, it died. Sometimes when Louis talked with Nora, he felt as if she were speaking a foreign language. Do you want a pet? Do you want to pet Winslow? Why'd you call him Winslow? I don't know. It just came to me when I first saw him. Nora removed a glove and tentatively patted Winslow's neck. He waggled his head and twitched his ears. That means he's happy, Louis said. Maybe, Nora agreed. Or maybe he waggles his head at any old thing. All right, chapter 18, Remember Me. Louis found one of Gus's postcards in his bookshelf. It had been propped up there, but had slipped between books. He liked rereading Gus's words, even though Gus rarely said anything important. Seeing his handwriting and reading his words made Louis feel as if Gus could walk into the room at any time. Hi, everybody. Sorry I haven't written for the last couple weeks. We've been in some hard training, and I fall into my bunk every night, too tired to read or write or even think. I don't have any news, so I'll sign off for now. Remember me, Gus. All right, chapter 19, The Girl with the Yellow Hat. One Saturday morning after a fresh snowfall the night before, Louis's mother said, Nora's out there again. Why doesn't she just come to the door? Are you supposed to sense that she's outside? Nora was walking back and forth in front of the house, swinging something, a rope, in her hand. Nora, you want to come in? I was just walking by, and I brought the leash. The leash? For the donkey, if you want to walk it or not. I have a collar thing, too. You know, what else? What? You could take that donkey over to the sledding hill. That is how Louis and Nora ended up taking Winslow for a walk down the street, in a dog collar and leash, and towing a sled to the sledding hill. Try it with Winslow, Nora said. Go on, he might like it. Louis bundled Winslow in his arms, climbed on the sled, and with a push from Nora, off they went, careening down the hill. Winslow's ears flapped crazily in the wind, slapping against Louis's face. The sled swerved left and right and then straight down the last fast slope. Wow, Louis shouted. Nora was standing at the top of the hill, clapping her gloved hands together, a bumblebee beacon in her yellow hat and puffy black coat, black boots. Your turn, Louis argued or urged. Nah, nah. You have to, and Winslow wants another turn, so here. Louis shoved Winslow into Nora's arms and held the sled ready. Well, if I have to. And all the way down the hill came the strangest sounds. Whoop, 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 whoop. And the only half of those were coming from Winslow. The rest were from Nora.